California threw away 3.4 million megawatt-hours of clean electricity last year. Not sold, not stored, thrown away. Solar panels generated it. The grid could not absorb it. Switches flipped. Power gone. The UK paid nearly $1.5 billion to shut off wind farms, then paid gas plants to turn on. Same day, same grid. Germany, Australia, Texas, every country with serious solar and wind does the same thing, generates electricity, cannot store it, wastes it. The problem is not the wind turbines, not the solar panels. The problem is the battery. Lithium batteries cost too much for grid-scale storage. They degrade too fast. They need constant temperature control. They wear out in 8 years on a grid that needs 30. On June 22nd, CATL unveiled a battery in Munich. It changes all of that. No lithium, 30-year lifespan, 15,000 cycles, works at -20 degrees Celsius. 34 units build a 1 gigawatt-hour power station. China built the battery that stops every country from throwing electricity away. Deliveries in China start September 2026. Global shipments, June 2027. The grid storage problem that has blocked the energy transition for a decade, solved by a company in Ningde, Fujian province. To understand why this matters, you need to understand why lithium fails on grids. A lithium battery in your phone charges and discharges maybe once a day. It lasts 3 to 4 years. A grid battery charges and discharges 1 to 2 times every day, without stopping, for 20 years. That is 7,000 to 10,000 cycles minimum. Lithium iron phosphate cells manage 4,000 to 8,000 cycles under ideal conditions. On a real grid, conditions are not ideal. Temperatures swing, discharge rates vary. The battery ages faster than specifications suggest. By year 8, a lithium grid battery is at the end of its useful life. The grid operator buys another one, then another. The cost is not just the hardware. It is replacement cost, installation, downtime, and disposal every 8 years, forever. That is why lithium has not solved grid storage. The economics do not work at the 20 to 30-year infrastructure timescale grids require. Pension funds do not invest in equipment that needs replacing every 8 years. Sovereign wealth funds do not finance infrastructure with an 8-year lifespan. Grid storage stayed expensive because the chemistry was wrong for the application. CATL's tenor sodium changes the chemistry and the economics. Here is what the tenor sodium actually is. 1 unit, 42 tons, more than 30 megawatt-hours of storage capacity. 34 units, 1 gigawatt-hour power station. The chemistry is sodium iron phosphate, pyrophosphate, no lithium, no cobalt, no nickel. The raw materials are iron, phosphate, and sodium. Iron is everywhere. Phosphate is everywhere. Sodium is in seawater. Sodium is more than 1,000 times more abundant than lithium in the Earth's crust. That abundance is the cost floor argument. Lithium prices spike when demand spikes. Sodium cannot spike the same way. Too much of it everywhere. The 10ENE reaches 15,000 cycles at 25 degrees Celsius. At 1.4 cycles per day, that is 29 years of daily operation. Not 8 years, not 12 years, 29 years. A battery lasting 30 years is a completely different financial product. For a grid that depreciates infrastructure over 30 years, it is not consumer electronics anymore. It is infrastructure. And infrastructure unlocks a completely different category of capital. The 30-year lifespan is the detail that most coverage misses. A lithium battery is consumer technology. Like a phone, you buy it, you use it, you replace it. Infrastructure is different. Roads, bridges, power stations, water treatment plants. Infrastructure gets financed differently. Pension funds, sovereign wealth funds, infrastructure bonds, 30-year loans. These capital sources do not touch batteries today. Because batteries do not last 30 years, CATL's tenor sodium lasts 30 years at 70% state of health. That reclassification changes who pays for grid storage. The cost of capital for infrastructure financing is dramatically lower than consumer technology financing. Lower interest rates, longer payback periods, different risk models. A battery costing more upfront but lasting 30 years instead of 8 calculates very differently. Over a project lifetime, In April 2026, CATL signed a 60 gigawatt-hour contract with HyperStrong. 3 years, the largest ever. The largest commercial sodium-ion contract ever signed, anywhere. Then signed a 5 gigawatt-hour deployment deal with Dutch energy company Alfen for Europe. Deliveries in 2027. The capital is flowing. Because the lifespan makes the math work. The cold weather performance is the advantage that most people do not understand clearly. Lithium batteries in cold climates need climate control systems. The battery management system runs heaters or coolers constantly. That parasitic load eats 5 to 10% of stored energy. Just to keep the battery at operating temperature. 5 to 10% lost to self-heating on a grid battery is enormous. The thinner sodium retains 92% capacity at minus 20 degrees Celsius. Without active heating, without climate control running constantly, the self-consumption rate drops to 1%, half the industry average. That 1% versus 5 to 10% difference compounds daily across decades. Over 30 years, the parasitic loss difference exceeds the battery's purchase price. On cold climate grids, cold winter countries have been the hardest markets for grid storage. Scandinavia, Canada, northern China, Russia. The tenor sodium works there. Without the energy penalty that makes lithium uneconomical, cold weather is not a constraint anymore. It is just another operating condition. CATL invested 5 billion yuan to expand sodium-ion production at its Futing base. That expansion adds 40 gigawatt-hours of annual production capacity. A Jining, Shandong facility targets 160 gigawatt-hours of sodium-ion capacity. 200 gigawatt-hours of sodium-ion production capacity from one company. Global Lithium Grid Storage installed roughly 200 gigawatt-hours in 2024. Total. CATL is building enough sodium production to match the entire global lithium storage market. In sodium alone, this is the same playbook as solar panels. Build the manufacturing base before the market exists. Drive costs down through volume. Then the market materializes around the price point. Solar panels cost 90% less today than 20 years ago because China built the factories first. CATL's sodium battery costs $70 to $97 per kilowatt hour today. Lithium iron phosphate costs $42 to $69. Sodium is currently more expensive per kilowatt hour, but sodium's cost floor is lower. The raw materials are cheaper, more abundant, less concentrated geographically. The price curve points down sharply as production scales. Here is what California's wasted electricity problem looks like up close. 3.4 million megawatt-hours thrown away in 2024, up 29% in 1 year, 93% of it solar. That electricity was generated at near zero cost. The fuel is free. The sun shone, the panels converted it, then the grid could not absorb it. Switches opened, power went nowhere. Every thrown away megawatt hour means gas or coal still runs later. To fill the gap, to meet demand the stored solar could have covered. The UK paid nearly £1.5 billion to curtail wind farms, then paid gas plants to spin up. Same electricity need, double the cost, plus carbon. This is the central economic dysfunction of the energy transition. Renewable energy is cheap to generate. It is expensive to waste and replace. Grid storage is the fix. Lithium grid storage costs $300 to $400 per kilowatt hour, full systems. At that price, storing electricity costs more than generating new electricity from gas. So grids throw the clean power away. 30 years ago, this had no solution. 8 years ago, lithium made partial progress. Now sodium changes the remaining economics. The modular architecture is the engineering detail that enables deployment at scale. Each thinner sodium unit operates independently. One unit fails, the others keep running. The faulty unit isolates automatically, gets replaced, no grid downtime. Lithium grid batteries today are often single large installations. One failure can take the whole system offline. The Tenor platform separates energy blocks from power blocks. Storage duration is configurable from 1 hour to 8 hours depending on project requirements. Same physical hardware, different software configuration, different use case. A California solar farm needs 4 hours of storage for the evening demand peak. A wind farm in Scotland needs 8 hours for overnight coverage. Same units, different configuration. The bidirectional voltage regulator holds output at 690 volts. Round-trip efficiency improves by nearly 2% compared to previous systems. 2% sounds small. On a 1 gigawatt-hour installation over 30 years, 2% efficiency gain is enormous, measured in millions of dollars of recovered value. Every decision in the teenier was made for a 30-year horizon, not 8 years. That focus shows in every specification. The safety data deserves attention. Because grid batteries catching fire make news, lithium grid batteries have had high-profile thermal runaway incidents in Arizona, in Korea, in Australia. Thermal runaway in a lithium cell creates a cascade. One cell overheats, releases gases, ignites adjacent cells. The fire is almost impossible to extinguish with water. Sodium-ion chemistry is structurally different at the cell level. CATL's TENR, sodium reduces cell expansion force by 40%, lowers gas generation by 35%. Thermal runaway surface temperature stays near 200 degrees Celsius, far higher than conventional lithium cells before ignition. That means the thermal event is less severe, slower to propagate, easier to contain. For grid operators, insurers, and regulators, safety matters as much as economics. A safer battery unlocks project approvals that lithium sometimes cannot get. Residential areas near proposed grid storage sites have blocked lithium installations over fire concerns. Sodium's safety profile addresses those concerns directly. The geopolitical angle is the one Western governments are least comfortable discussing. CATL controls approximately 37% of the global lithium battery market. The TANEN, sodium is not competition for lithium. CATL calls sodium and lithium the twin pillars of future energy storage. CATL plans to dominate both. The raw materials for sodium batteries are globally distributed. Iron, phosphate, sodium. No country has a strategic choke point on those materials. Manufacturing knowledge for commercial-scale sodium-ion is concentrated in one place. Ningde, Fujian Province. CATL invested 5 billion yuan in production expansion, has 200 gigawatt-hours of planned capacity, signed the world's largest sodium-ion storage contract. The pattern is familiar. Solar panels, electrolyzers, lithium batteries, EV components. China builds the manufacturing base before the market matures, drives costs down through volume, establishes the dominant position before competitors can respond. When Western manufacturers attempt sodium-ion at scale, CATL will have years of experience ahead. Lower costs, established customer relationships everywhere, raw materials are available everywhere, manufacturing capability will not be. What does this mean for countries throwing electricity away right now? California throws away solar because storage is too expensive. CATL's sodium-ion system at commercial scale targets costs that change that calculation. The UK curtails wine because lithium storage cannot economically bridge overnight gaps. A 30-year sodium-ion installation changes the investment case. Germany, Australia, and Texas all face the same version of the same problem. Renewable generation is cheap. Storage is expensive. Curtailment follows. The 10-year sodium does not immediately solve every grid's problem. Deliveries start September 2026. Global shipments in June 2027. Scale takes years. Manufacturing capacity takes time, but the trajectory is set. The technology works. Field validation is complete. 200 gigawatt-hours of annual sodium-ion production, committed by the world's largest battery maker. The price curve follows volume. It did in solar, in lithium, in electrolyzers. Every industry China entered this way saw prices fall faster than projected. There is no reason to expect sodium-ion grid storage to be different. In 2024, California threw away 3.4 million megawatt-hours of clean electricity. The UK paid £1.5 billion for the privilege of wasting wind power. Every country with serious renewable generation is doing the same thing. The problem is not the energy. The energy is free. The problem is the battery. CATL built the battery. 30-year lifespan, 15,000 cycles, zero lithium, works at -20 degrees Celsius, 92% capacity retention in the cold, 42 tons per unit, 34 units per gigawatt hour, delivery starting September 2026. The same company that built 37% of the lithium battery market, now building 200 gigawatt-hours of sodium capacity. This is not a technology announcement. It is a commercial product, field validated, manufacturing ready, supply chain operational. The electricity that California threw away last year can be stored. UK wind farms paid to shut off can charge batteries instead, running through the night. 30 years. Without replacing the battery. China built it. The rest of the world will buy it. The country selling the battery that fixes the grid is not just a hardware supplier, it is the foundation of every electricity system that switches to clean energy. Which country deploys sodium-ion grid storage at national scale first? Drop your answer below. Drop your answer below.